Hi, Randy the Mobile Home Guy here again today. We're going to go over how to relight a pilot on a mobile home furnace. They're basically the same, so I just want to look at that. If you come to your furnace and you look inside of here, there's a little flap in there, you look inside, and about 16 inches down is going to be where the pilot is down there. And if you don't see it, it's all dark in there, you're more than likely have your pilot out. And so we're going to be looking for the knob, and it's going to say on, pilot, and off. Sometimes they say on, off, pilot, and set if you look really careful. Sometimes there's a little red lever back here, something to that effect. You're going to hold that red lever all the way to the set position, not to the pilot position. You're going to hold it up and hold it to the set position when your match is inside of there, okay? But for this one here, we're going to turn this one, and it's going to turn it to the pilot position. And you can see that this little black knob now points to pilot. So we can know we have a pilot because we can actually push it down. If we're a little off on that, we couldn't push it down at all. So we're going to get there. So now we have this to the pilot position, and we can push it down. So when I'm doing this, I'm actually letting out gas inside of there, okay? So we want to be ready with our match in there before we push this down. We just want to make sure at this point that it's in the right position, okay? And what I like to do with this little flap here is get something here to prop it open. So we can prop it open like that, gets it out of our way a little bit. A lot of these furnaces that have pilots will have this little chain off to the side with this little piece of thing here like this. And what you have to do is you kind of have to wedge some matches in there. I like to wedge about 2 matches in there. And what I'll do is I'll use a lighter. And so I will light them here, and I'll hold them up like this until basically the entire matches are all lit, okay? And when the idea behind this, I'll always take this chain off. It's usually screwed on. I will take it off of there. And so what I'll do is I'll have it out here. And so we want to get from here, out here, not up here close. We want to be out here. And as one motion, we want to push that all the way in, okay? Because right here, just beyond the little hole, is where that air comes in. This is fresh air, so it's blowing right now from outside, so a lot of times that'll put your match out. So what you do, light these, put them in here as quick as you possibly can, okay? And all the way in and down. And what you're looking for is beside this tube, there's a little square, and you're gonna be looking right in there, and you're going to put the match in between the two. And we'll look at that in a second. A lot of times barbecue lighters and those kinds of things won't work for that. So we have this big, huge, long one. I don't know if you can see that there, but it's really long design just specifically for these long pilots, okay? So what you'll do, you'll get your match inside of there, right where it needs to go. You will push this down at that point, and it'll light in there, and you can pull your match out at that time as long as you're holding this in there and it has ignited inside there. Once you've waited about 20 to 30 seconds there, you will let this up, and you'll see, did the pilot stay lit inside of there? Then if it did, you're good to go. You can turn this back to the on position. A lot of times they'll tell you to turn the power off and the thermostat down. It's a good idea, but it won't really affect it really that much on this one because pilot actually turns off the gas for this kind of regulator for mobile home furnaces. Same with that red levered one. But if you feel comfortable, turn the power off to the units, there's a switch on there, and the thermostat down. And now I'll point in there and we'll look in there to where that actually is supposed to go as far as where your match or igniter goes. Okay, so now we can see where your match actually needs to go, and it's in, and down. So I will put my match or igniter right in this little V shape right there, just on the other side of that. If you can get your match in there and angled down just a tiny bit, just past this tube, and right beside this square, just past there, right in there, before you push your button. Once your match is right in there and ignited still, make sure your match of course is still lit, then you would push down on your pilot button up here and then hold the pilot button for 20 seconds. When you let go, if it stays on, you got a pilot, you're good to go. Get your match out of there of course, and then close your flap, turn this button here back to the on position, and then you should have a lit pilot. Turn your power back on, thermostat up, and you should be ready to go. This is an inner therm furnace, but a lot of times they'll have this gas valve on different furnaces. It says off, on, pilot, and set. So what we're going to do is inside of here, is where we're going to put our match in there. So this one's lit, but see about a 1.5 foot inside of there is where we need to be. So we're going to have our match ready. It's going to go in there, and once we get the match in there lit, we're going to push this lever here past pilot and hold it on to set. Okay, and then that's going to light hopefully inside of there, because you have your match there ready to go. So when I'm holding this, I'm letting gas out, so always make sure to have your match in there first. And then once it's gone for about 10, 20, 30 seconds, then we're going to let that go. Make sure that it is still lit. We're going to make sure it's lit. We can use this something to prop this up with. Usually I'll use a screwdriver and prop this up. Once we see it stayed on, okay, good to go. Then we'll put it back to the on position. So again, pilot doesn't mean anything anymore on this particular valve as far as getting the gas to go through the pilot tube, which is here. What we want to do is hold it to the set position as we have our match in there, okay?